Six Flags Magic Mountain may be opening an RMC Raptor next year, but their next coaster will blow your mind. They announced the world's tallest single rail coaster last week, Wonder Woman Flight of Courage. But if you think that's a good ride, wait till you hear what I think they could get next. Six Flags Magic Mountain's next coaster will be insane, and no one is expecting it. Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California is one of the best amusement parks in the world and is the crown jewel of the Six Flags chain. Magic Mountain is opening its 20th coaster for 2022, Wonder Woman Flight of Courage. This coaster is a single rail RMC Raptor that's a near clone of Jersey Devil and is only 1 foot taller and a little longer with a slightly different layout for the beginning and end of the ride. This will be the 5th single rail coaster to open and will probably be an enormous success for the park. Besides for the fact that it's an RMC and is a unique coaster with it being single rail, it's also the park's 20th coaster. Everyone knows Six Flags was rushing to make Magic Mountain the first amusement park with 20 roller coasters. And they almost had that in 2019 with West Coast Racers, but at the last minute they had to remove Green Lantern, so the record would have to wait another few years. Now that Six Flags Magic Mountain will have 20 roller coasters, what's next for the park? What could they get? Usually when I make a prediction for a park's next coaster, I look at what they have and try to find their biggest gaps. Since this park has so many coasters, I'm instead gonna look at what they don't have. Six Flags Magic Mountain doesn't have a giga coaster, a spinning coaster, or a water coaster. They are also lacking in the dive coaster area without a dive coaster or an infinity coaster. The final coaster they are missing is a perfect front gate coaster. They don't have a gatekeeper going through stunning keyholes over their gate, and they don't have a giga coaster flying right by them as they walk in either. So now that we know their gaps, let's look at which coasters fit with what the park needs and the manufacturers the park works with. The first and smallest option will be a Mack Power Splash. Six Flags has one opening this year at Over Texas, and Magic Mountain just removed their log flume, so this would be a good replacement. They could even get the one with a vertical loop, and of course, make it the tallest and fastest one in the world. This is definitely a possibility and isn't the worst option, but I think there are some much crazier and better coasters the park will look at first. The next option is a Mack Extreme Spinner. Six Flags is working with Mack Rides like I just said, installing a Power Splash at Over Texas opening this year. Magic Mountain doesn't have a spinning coaster, or at least not the traditional spinning type of coaster. An extreme spinning will be a great fit for the park and would probably become one of the best rides in the world. The extreme spinner is a spectacular model and would be a perfect fit for the park. The extreme spinner is a spectacular model and will be a perfect fit for the park. I think they might actually go for this, and if they do, it'll be amazing, but the price may drive them away. Hopefully Six Flags can open the banks for this coaster from Magic Mountain, and it is the chain's main park, so they just might. Another coaster Magic Mountain could get is a B&M dive coaster. The B&M dive coaster is a GP magnet and would be crazy. Six Flags is once again working with B&M now, and they shouldn't have a problem putting one at Magic Mountain budget-wise. Whether this coaster would break records or just be a smaller scale dive coaster like the one going to Fiesta, Texas this year is questionable, but either way, this would be a great fit. The dive coaster, or any coaster from B&M for that matter, are high-capacity coasters and GP magnets. Six Flags Fiesta, Texas is getting Dr. Diabolical this year, and I don't think this is a one-time deal with B&M. I think they are getting out the dive coaster before building a major one at one of their big parks. So if it doesn't go to Magic Mountain, keep an eye on Great Adventure and Great America. Another coaster the park could get that would be a huge hit and a long-awaited coaster is the Axis coaster. How could I make a roller coaster prediction for a park without mentioning this one? The SNS Axis coaster is an awesome coaster, and it's so exciting that the first one is opening in 2023, though it's not in the US. Magic Mountain doesn't have a 4D free spin from SNS since they have X2 and just got rid of Green Lantern, so the Axis could be a good fit. Let them break records with it and make it crazy. It could be amazing, and maybe they could even put it in the front of the park, passing over the front gate. Just picture walking into the park with an SNS Axis coaster going right above the entrance. That would be epic. The SNS Axis coaster is sure to be a hit, and Six Flags loves working with SNS. The coaster should be in Magic Mountain's budget, and I think this is a coaster they will definitely get. The only question is if it'll be their next coaster or if it'll come later down the line. Another option for the park is the B&M Wing or Surf. The B&M Wing coaster is a very unique model and looks great, while the Surf is, well, we don't 100% know yet, but it'll surely be great. We know Six Flags is working with B&M for Fiesta Texas, as I said earlier, so it should be an option. My only concern with these options is that X2 is very similar to a wing coaster. It looks like a wing coaster and is a wing coaster, but it also has spinning cars. Will they go for a wing once they already have X2? I don't think so, but you never know. The Surf coaster is more likely, but it's further away, and even though Magic Mountain got a bunch of launch coasters recently, another one wouldn't hurt. If the Surf coaster is indeed B&M's take on the Intamin Blitz, Magic Mountain better get it. But who knows? The final coaster on this list that I think Magic Mountain could get is the one I think they need most. The coaster that would be the best fit at the park, and the coaster that everyone was waiting for Magic Mountain to get for years now. The B&M Giga Coaster. Six Flags Magic Mountain needs a real Giga Coaster. B&M is the best manufacturer for the Giga Coaster in my opinion, and I really hope Magic Mountain gets a 350-foot Giga Coaster. And please don't call it a Joker 350. That would be just a terrible name. The Giga Coaster is an awesome model, especially B&M's and Magic Mountain, or the whole west coast of the US for that matter, doesn't have a good hypercoaster. So getting a B&M Giga, which is just a larger version of the Hyper, would be amazing. Magic Mountain really could do wonders with a Giga Coaster, but it may be too expensive. Do you think Six Flags will have that budget for a massive Giga in 2025?